we're going to look at the Sigma 18 to 50mm f2.8. It's a lens that I've wanted to buy for a long time, and I think it's one of the most exciting lenses for Sony APSC users. Considering the zoom range and the constant aperture of f2.8, it's very small and lightweight with only 290 grams. Here is a layout of this lens and all my other lenses. You can see that it's a rather compact lens. At the front of the lens is the zoom ring, and at the inside is the focus ring. Both are very smooth when you turn, and there is no hard click, so it's great for video creators. It feels pretty well built, but I do have one minor complaint. This lens zooms in as you turn the zoom ring counterclockwise, and it zooms out when you turn it clockwise, so it's the opposite of most Sony lenses, and I'm still getting used to it. Just like most of the Sigma lenses, this lens is also very sharp, no matter you shoot it wide open or when you use a smaller aperture. Here I will just show you some real-life photos so that you can see how it performs at different aperture and different zoom range. The zoom range of 18 to 50mm is very versatile, and I believe it can cover most people's everyday use. You can use this lens for travel photography, for landscape, for architecture, for product, for food, and for portrait. And because of the great image quality, you don't even need to buy prime lenses separately. So if you hate changing lenses, or if you have limited budget, I believe this is the only lens you will need. Another thing I want to mention is the minimum focus distance. It's about 12mm, so basically you can take macro photos with it. Well, of course, you can compare it to a dedicated macro lens, but like I said, it's pretty sharp, which means you got to crop the photos and make things look closer without compromising the image quality. The constant f2.8 means great low light performance. You can use a faster shutter speed or a lower ISO at night, so you will have less noise and steadier images. You can take sharp and clean photos indoors at a dark restaurant, or you can take candid snapshot in a dark alley, and the photos look amazing. In most cases, f2.8 is enough for low light situations. But of course, f2.8 can't beat a prime lens of f1.4, but if you consider the convenience you get out of this zoom lens, there isn't really much to complain about. I believe many people are interested in how this lens performs in videography. The lack of in-body stabilization does concern some people, but I don't think it's the deal breaker. I'm using the Sony ZVE10, which has active steady shot, and I can also use the Catalyst Browse software. So if you are using the same camera as I do, or if you are using any cameras that has the same functions, I believe the lack of stabilization won't be a problem. The Sigma 18 to 50mm f2.8 has some very similar competitors. The Sony 16 to 55mm f2.8. It's of great quality, but it's twice the price, so I think there is no reason buying it. The second competitor is the Sony kit lens, which has the zoom range of 16 to 50 millimeters, but the aperture is variable at f3.5 to 5.6. The price is lower, so it might be a good option for beginners. But I think if you are into photography and you want to invest in it in the long term, then I would suggest just skip the kit lens and buy the Sigma 18 to 50mm as your first lens, because you will end up finding yourself hoping you have the constant f2.8. The third competitor is the Tamron 17 to 70mm f2.8. I think this is a real tough decision. I had a hard time deciding whether to buy the Sigma lens or the Tamron lens. Both lenses has f2.8, but the Tamron lens has extra zoom range as well as stabilization. The downside is that it is larger, it is heavier, and it's a little more expensive than the Sigma lens. I ended up choosing the Sigma lens because I already have a Sony 18 to 105mm f4, so I think extra zoom range isn't as important for me. And like I said, I don't think the lack of stabilization is a big issue for this lens. So I figured that I will just use the Sony 18 to 105 when I need more zoom range, and when I need to shoot at night or indoors, or when I want to travel lightweight, I will use the Sigma lens. If you ask me which one you should buy between these two lenses, I would say the Sigma lens because it is lighter, it is smaller, and less expensive. Unless you have already known that you like longer focal length, then of course the Tamron lens will be more suitable for you. I think this is one of Sigma's best lenses. I have been using it for about 2 weeks so far, and I'm very happy with it. I'm a hybrid user. I use it for both photography and videography. I don't mind the lack of stabilization because, like I said, I can use the active steady shot or catalyst browse. And by using the active steady shot, I can enjoy extra zoom range. As for photography, I mostly use it for street photography, and there are times when I wish I could zoom in further, but I guess at this price, the zoom range is more than enough. The product link is down in the description box. Feel free to check for more details. And I'm also thinking about doing more comparisons of this lens with my Sony 18 to 105 lens, since these two lenses have a lot in common, and I believe a lot of people will be interested to know. So if you are interested, make sure you subscribe so that you won't miss anything. I will also make more POV street photography videos with this lens. So stay tuned, I'll see you next time.